Team, welcome back to the GolfHackr channel and welcome to episode 9 of Scratch22. We're here in Caroline's office where she's kindly lent me some space to do some filming for today's episode where I take you through the changes I've made with my swing to date and my goals and training plan for the next couple of months with an aim to get my handicap down to 17 by mid-December. But before we get into that, a couple of people have been asking about the news in my last video that I'd resigned from my job. While I would love for that to mean I can play golf all day, every day, that's simply not the case. A career break is something I've been considering for a while, and in trying to get this channel off the ground, it seemed like a good opportunity to do that. I'll admit, I did float the idea of just training full time and seeing where I landed, but thanks to those of you that reminded me what this journey started as and what it still stands for. And that's a channel that can speak to the challenges and realities of your everyday golfer trying to improve their game. So right now it's a good opportunity to get up to speed with video editing and all these things so I can more comfortably deliver weekly videos when that time comes and keep you updated on my progress. So with that out the way, let's take a look at my progress today. It's been 3 months since we got started on this journey and my handicap's dropped from 22.1 to 20.4. The changes I've had to make so far are just to very fundamental things, but there's a good chance that other amateurs or other golfers early in the process are making the same mistakes, so I thought it might be useful to share. As Caroline explained to me, for anyone that's looking to make progress down to the really low single figures or towards a scratch handicap, it's going to be a very tough ask if you don't have your swing built on solid fundamentals. The key changes I've had to make so far have been 1 to my posture and 2 to my grip. When I had my very first lesson, my golf posture was the first thing that Caroline pointed out was incorrect. She pointed out I was standing too close to the ball, meaning my arms weren't falling comfortably and I was relying on hand-eye coordination to find the ball each time I swung the club. As Caroline explained to me, a good golf posture includes a hinge at the hips, which allows the arms to fall vertically. To continue working in the correct posture, I've been using this simple posture drill to make sure that I'm using the correct posture each time I swing the club. Now, I'm not saying my posture is perfect, but I think since making this change, I've started to see a much more quality strike of the ball. If you're wondering whether you've got the correct posture, I've dropped a link down below to another video which might help you to find correct posture. The second key change was to my grip. Up until last year, I've been using a baseball grip or the 10-finger grip. But after coming here on YouTube, doing some research as to what the pros were using, I decided to switch to an interlock grip. However, the second thing Caroline pointed out to me in my first lesson was that my right arm was far too dominant in the swing. Aside from gripping the club too tightly on the hole, I was gripping it too tightly with my right hand, and this was causing stiffness in the wrist, through the elbow, and wasn't allowing the arm to hinge correctly in the swing. To help adjust to a more dominant lead arm in the swing, I switched to an overlap grip, which personally I've found helpful to find the correct pressure in the grip. And what I've noticed is when I don't get the correct grip pressure with my right hand, if I grip the club too tightly, it starts to close the club face a little bit, and this is likely the root cause of many of my hooked shots which have started to creep into my game. So to help ensure my club face is square moving forward, I'm taking extra care each time I set up at a ball, and then I'm checking the club face is square by raising the club face and checking that it's sitting vertically. So the changes I've had to make so far, and that I'm still trying to get comfortable with, just go to show how crucial it is that you get your key fundamentals correct. I'm in absolutely no position to be teaching you what a correct golf setup looks like, but I found a video from US Golf TV which, from the comments and everything, seems to explain it quite well, so I've dropped the link to that down below. So with that out the way, let's come to my goals and training plan for the next couple of months. The last 3 months, aside from playing golf most weekends, I just simply haven't done enough training. So to get the ball rolling again by mid-December, I'm aiming to get my handicap down to 17. For training, I'll be aiming for the following each week. At least 1 to 2 rounds of golf. And wherever possible, these will be played with golfers that are much stronger than I am. I played a few rounds lately with really strong golfers, and it's really helped to drive my expectations of myself while I'm going around the golf course. Each week I'll be aiming for 6 to 8 hours of practice, which will be made up of putting, chipping and swing training. Aiming for a minimum of 3 hours of putting each week, this will be a combination between 5-footer putts and lag putting, so I can start to drop the number of 3 putts per round. I'll also include additional putting wherever possible at home using my putt-out trainer mat. For my chipping practice, I'll include a combination of short and long chips, And my swing training will include one range session and at least 100 swings a day in the backyard against my net. So on top of the training that I'm doing week to week, there's another aspect which I'm going to continue to work on daily. Mental skills is an area of the game which I think could be largely underutilized by other amateur golfers. And I'm very lucky to have the help of Professor Gary Hermanson, one of the top sports psychologists in New Zealand, to help me build my abilities in this area. I'm currently halfway through his book, Going Mental in Sport, and I've already picked up a number of tips and tricks which I think could be hugely useful for other amateur golfers out there. I'm going to continue to learn and develop my knowledge of these concepts, and I'll start to share some of that with you as well. So guys, that's my plan for the next couple of months. I'll make sure I log all my hours so we can really have a good look at how much time I've put in and what the return has been in terms of the improvement in my golf game. Is there anything in this plan you would change? Anything that I need to add? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's it for this week's episode, guys. Stay tuned for next week where I do some benchmark testing to really get a good sense of where my golf is and how it progresses over the next couple of months. Until then, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Take it easy.